As-salaam wa-alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Year 6 of the 17 Verses podcast. I'm your host, Maher Haq. In this podcast, we take a small selection from the Quran every day and recite it to you in plain English, so you can get a small slice of God's Word while you go about your day. By averaging 17 verses per day, we're able to break the Quran down into manageable pieces and finish it in 1 year. If you enjoy the podcast, please help spread the word. Tell your friends and family, subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts, and write us a review. Show notes and a text episode can be found at 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17verses.com. Today's selection is from Surah 11, Hud, verses 96 through 109. These verses discuss the fate of the Pharaoh of Egypt and his chiefs, who were warned by Prophet Moses to listen to God's word, but gave no heed. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. We sent Moses with our signs and clear authority to the Pharaoh of Egypt and his chiefs, but they followed the command of the Pharaoh, and the command of the Pharaoh was not right. He will be in front of his people on the day of resurrection, and will bring them down to hell. How awful will be the place to which they will be brought? A curse followed them in this life, and a curse will follow them on the day of resurrection. What an evil reward for one to receive. These are the stories of the nations which we relate to you. Of them some have survived and some have ceased to exist. We were not unjust to them, but they were unjust to themselves. The deities they invoked beside Allah did not avail them when the judgment of your Lord came to pass. They added nothing to their lot but perdition. Such is the scourge of your Lord when he seizes a sinful town. Indeed, his seizure is terrible and painful. In fact, this is a sign in this for those who fear the punishment of the hereafter. That is a day in which mankind will be gathered together, and that will be a day of testimony. We do not delay it, but to the appointed deadline. When the day will come, no one shall dare speak except with his permission. Of them, some will be damned and some will be blessed. Those who are damned shall be in the fire. In there they will only have sighs and sobs. They will dwell therein as long as the heavens and the earth shall last, unless your Lord ordains otherwise. For surely your Lord is the mighty doer of what he intends. As for those who are blessed, they will be in paradise. They will dwell therein as long as the heavens and the earth shall last, unless your Lord ordains otherwise, an award which will never be taken away. Therefore have no doubt concerning the deities they worship, for they blindly imitate the worship of those deities whom their forefathers used to worship before them, and surely we shall give them their share of punishment in full, without any abatement. Ameen. This concludes today's episode of the 17 Verses podcast. I hope that this selection helps increase your understanding of the Holy Quran just a little bit. If you like the podcast, you can subscribe in iTunes or Stitcher and write us a review. Or you can grab the RSS feed and put it into your own podcast app. The show notes, including a text version of this episode, can be found by going to 17verses.com. That's the numbers 17verses.com. Thank you, and be well.